Hey guys, this is God of Politics, and welcome back to a brand new video. But before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, join the Discord that is linked down in the description. But today I'm talking about how the race may be tightening, the race for president, that is, and how, it could be getting closer than what it might have seemed before. Now, this, first of all, is the betting odds. I have referred to the betting odds a number of times in recent videos, but it is really striking how much of a closer race this is getting. In the overall, the chance of winning the race, Joe Biden is ahead by 7 cents. But if you look at the overall average, Biden has, fallen quite a bit. He's now at 56. He was formerly at 60 just around a week ago. He peaked at around, 63, 64 before, but now Donald Trump is gaining quite a little bit. And, you can count the fact that Kamala Harris is at 5 cents, which would really just be, Joe Biden's points. But regardless, Joe Biden is, his lead in the betting odds is tightening. If we want to look at it in some other states, and most notably is the state of Minnesota, which I also talked about in my video yesterday. You should check it out. That'll be in the cards. His chances are now at 66 cents. They were formerly, again, just a week ago at around 74 cents. They peaked at around 83 cents. So in terms of what people who are betting on this thing, they certainly think that it is going to tighten. And while Joe Biden is still in favor in these states, for example, the state Donald Trump won in 2016, Michigan, Joe Biden is, a 3-2 favorite in this state. But it is still, showing that it is tightening a little bit. And that is, not necessarily empirical data. That's not what the betting odds are. But if we do want to look at some polling, we did obviously just have the Republican National Convention that happened recently. It did get better ratings overall, slightly higher ratings. I think it was around 10 million more people than the DNC. Democrats, had a convention that was not viewed too favorably. Republicans, it was not viewed too favorably either, but more people did watch it, and it is looking like, it is also looking like, Donald Trump may have gotten a little bit of a boost from it. Now, this is the RCP average. It doesn't include the poll I'm about to talk about in a little bit. But it does show that Joe Biden is currently up by 6.9 percentage points. Just a week ago, he was around almost up, 8 percentage points. He was almost up 7.7. He was actually up 7.8 on August 23rd. Now it is August 28th, and he is up 1.4 percentage points less than that. But if you would like to see, weighted polls, things like that, many people are doing it. I am doing it. I have a website that I'm not, announcing yet on this channel, but I will in the future, that is showing that the race is tightening, in the, overall. We have a lot of these polls here that when you weight them show that Joe Biden isn't actually up by very much. And while, he still does have a healthy lead and you'd much rather be Joe Biden than you would be Donald Trump, you have to remember, if Joe Biden wins the popular vote by, less than 4 percentage points, he probably won't win, because flashback to 2016, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by 2.1 percentage points, and Joe Biden is expected to make gains in states like Massachusetts, New York, California, and Texas. Those are 4 very big states, and if he does make gains in them, it's not necessarily going to help. Massachusetts, New York, California is already winning those states, and Texas, he'll probably make gains in the state, to the effect of hundreds of thousands of votes, but he won't end up winning the state. And so we could be looking at a very big popular vote win for Joe Biden, but not necessarily the biggest electoral college win, or maybe even a loss. And so when you look at it, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of, Joe Biden wins by 4, that's kind of the cutoff between him winning and Trump winning, there's only around a 3-point race, and Donald Trump has made those gains recently. Again, we can see before Joe Biden at one point in the average itself was up around 10 percentage points. If we want to go to around the June era here, he's up, I believe he peaked at around 10.2 percentage points up. It has now fallen by 3.3 percentage points. It is now at 6.9 percentage points on the RCP average. If you want to look at this new morning consult poll, however, this is getting a lot of attention because it is the first national poll that has occurred since, completely since the Republican National Convention. They also did one after the Democratic National Convention, before the Republican Convention. So we can see if there is a boost. Now, historically, there is a boost to a candidate when they have the convention. If you want to look, very notably, for example, at 1984, Walter Mondale got a boost from the convention. It actually was, within striking distance of Ronald Reagan in some places. That lead ended up, dissipating eventually, but he did get a boost from it. In 2016, Hillary Clinton got a boost. Donald Trump also got a boost. And, some people have been saying because it was a virtual convention, you had a lot of people speaking from the same place with no crowds, things like that, you may not have the same kind of effect and you may not have the same kind of boost as before. But this morning consult poll did actually show that, Joe Biden is not winning as much as before. Before the Republican National Convention, as it was beginning, right before it began, Joe Biden was leading 52% to 42%. Now, the most recent poll, completely after the convention, shows Donald Trump winning 50% to 42%. So that means Joe Biden has lost 2% of his support. Donald Trump has gained 2% of his support. We still have, 94% of the vote going to either Joe Biden or Donald Trump. And then in the new poll, we also have 94%. So there's no more undecided voters, no more third-party voters. It's simply gone 2% less for Joe Biden and 2% more for Donald Trump. It highlights, individual demographics of this poll, saying Trump cut into Biden's lead among suburbanites and grew his support among white voters, though he worsened his standing with voters of color. So, Donald Trump did try to portray the law and order message, which can appeal to some suburban voters. That could be part of the reason he's gaining with suburbanites. But it is kind of, striking and very notable that he is losing standing with voters of color because of the fact that, Donald Trump and the RNC did have a lot of black and, Hispanic speakers at the Republican National Convention. Maybe that's just some statistical noise, but that is something that could be notable in the future. It does say Biden's favorability numbers weakened while the president's remained steady. So after the convention, what we did see is that Joe Biden, while he didn't get much of a boost at all, he did get more popular. More people liked him. More people would necessarily support him from a standpoint of liking him. Whereas Donald Trump has remained steady after this, but he seems to get more of the vote. Now, as we saw here, Joe Biden is winning 10. He's now winning by 6. If we go to the pre-convention and post-convention in 2016, Hillary Clinton was leading by 2 percentage points, and now then after that, after the Republican National Convention, she was losing by 4 percentage points. But one thing to note from this, Joe Biden is winning by 6 percentage points with 7% undecided vote. Hillary Clinton was losing by 4 here with 16% undecided, and she was winning by 2% with 20% undecided. That means, it breaks 12% for Donald Trump and 8% for Hillary Clinton. That would mean that Donald Trump in that scenario gains 2 on Hillary Clinton, and then at that point, based on that poll, the race is tied. Whereas in this scenario, the undecideds breaking towards Donald Trump wouldn't necessarily help him as much because there are less people that are undecided. This is something that's been, seen consistently across the board. And so that's one of the very notable things from the morning console poll. And we can also look at some, other state polls that are showing it tightening a little bit. For example, Michigan, we had a new poll from Trafalgar Group. Now, Trafalgar Group is, Republican-leaning, Republican, I guess you could say affiliated. They do have a Republican bias overall. But if we look back at 2016, Trafalgar was the only poll to get Donald Trump's win in Michigan right. He showed that Donald Trump was winning, or Trafalgar showed that Donald Trump was winning by 2 percentage points. He ended up winning by 0.3 percentage points. But nobody else really showed it any close at all, to be honest. And if we do look at the Sun Belt polling, the polling in like states like Arizona, Florida, states North Carolina, states like that, Trafalgar is not as good. They usually overestimate Democrats more, but in the Rust Belt, they have been very accurate. And this is the same amount he showed Donald Trump up in 2016. He's now showing him up 2 points this time. But another thing to note is that you have 45% of the vote, 47% of the vote. That adds up to 92%. If we looked back at 2016, the number in Trafalgar's poll was also quite high, which was different, actually higher than this. There was no undecided vote in that poll. So, it is quite an interesting poll to see that a sign of the race that might be tightening because of it. Some of this data was taken during the convention, and some was taken after. Some was even taken before, I believe. But it is shown that Biden's lead is going down in some of these states. I've pointed out it's going down in the betting odds. It's going down in some of these polls, and you could see that Donald Trump is overall gaining some momentum, so that'll be a very interesting and important thing to watch out for. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description. So again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.